Hey friends, tonight we're diving into a quiet journey into ancient Greek legends. But to make this an even better experience, I suggest finding a quiet corner and getting comfortable to allow yourself to unwind as we begin. If you have a topic you'd like us to explore in a future video, please leave a comment below. Your ideas are always read and taken into account. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's make Hypnorium the biggest community of relaxation on YouTube. With that being said, let's begin. As the day begins to soften and the sun gracefully dips toward the horizon, we find ourselves gently guided through the cobblestone paths of a quaint, ancient Greek village. Here, the air is scented with the earthy perfume of olive groves and the faint sweetness of honeyed pine. A gentle calm descends, much like the soft hush that follows a duskbird's last call. It's a place where time seems to breathe more slowly, inviting you to pause, to notice, to be.
Nestled amid this tranquil scene, the villagers engage in the timeless ritual of evening meal preparations. You might spot someone next to their humble stone dwelling, stoking the fire for a simple yet hearty meal. The warmth of crackling wood mixes with the faint aroma of freshly baked bread, each loaf carrying the touch of loving hands. For a moment, imagine the textures under those hands, the dense, comforting grain of the loaf, still warm from the hearth, the cool, smooth handle of the wooden ladle used to stir a bubbling pot of lentils. In such a time, the art of relaxation wasn't a luxury, but a necessity, woven into daily routines. An afternoon might include a comforting practice of stretching and moving through simple exercises, akin to what we recognize today as early forms of yoga, promoting a gentle strength and serenity of the body and mind. Here, amid the whisper of olive trees, the priorities of well-being revealed both their simplicity and profound relevance. Transitioning now to the village agora, a modest yet lively heart of social life, we are welcomed by a scene both comforting and familiar. With the day's labor behind them, villagers gather here to exchange goods, greetings, and stories. The gentle barter of trade is accompanied by soft laughter and muted chatter, voices blending in a gentle, harmonious hum, a contrast to the bustling streets of modern city markets. In this shared space, the textures and colors abound with humble beauty, rustic clay pots holding their age-old gleam against the soft, dwindling evening light. Woven fabrics display simple patterns, the earthy tones intersecting with splashes of vibrant dyes that mirror the sunset's final flourish. Picture a woman inspecting a piece of cloth for its thickness and quality, fingers discerning what eyes alone might miss, the intricacies of the weave providing both utility and grace. As twilight deepens, a gentle gratitude for the day's harvest and the community's small successes fills the air. Perhaps the joys of a bountiful olive harvest or the excitement of a new tale brought by a traveler stirred gentle ripples of contentment and peace. You see, stress and leisure, every bit as interwoven as the threads in the fabrics sold here, danced through these ancient lives. Yet the ancient Greeks held a remarkable understanding of balance, a balance befitting a world where the golden threads of myth elegantly interlaced with the earthy yarn of daily living. In the warm glow of evening, imagine the soft murmur of voices, filtered under a sky spangled with stars. Faint, familiar forms of the constellations. These celestial watchmen have silent tales of their own, whispered secrets of heroes immortalized among the stars. Their stories are as infinite and profound as the constellations themselves. As each star flickers into view, it reminds you not only of the tales that intertwine lives, but of the quiet, enduring beauty found in simply being. Close your eyes and picture the world where myths were born, where the stones spoke and the winds carried whispers of gods and heroes. We find ourselves meandering down an ancient Greek path, a timeless trail etched by countless footsteps throughout the ages. Dust rises softly in the warm early morning light, dancing lazily in the crisp air. You feel the sun gently warming your skin, and a soft breeze carries the scent of olive trees and wild thyme. As you stroll this path, you can almost hear the echo of those who walked it before. Merchants, philosophers, farmers, and shepherds each played a small yet significant role in the grand tapestry of Greek life. Picture a bustling agora, like a town square, alive with life and conversation. Traders and shoppers swap stories alongside their wares, spices, pottery, and fabrics in a stunning array of colors. The air hums with a quiet energy, like a bee buzzing lazily from one fragrant bloom to another. In this serene world, the concept of leisure was as much about communal gathering as solitary reflection. In many ways, the Greeks were pioneers in the art of mindful relaxation. Imagine a group of friends reclining in a shaded courtyard, sharing stories as the afternoon sun casts a soothing glow. Skyphoi of wine pass between them, not as a drink to excess, but as a symbol of friendship, to be savored slowly. Amid their conversations, you catch snippets of familiar tales, the epics of heroes, and the lessons of gods. These tales wove themselves into the fabric of life, much like threads in a finely woven tapestry. The tale served as guidance, entertainment, and a gentle reminder of both the might and folly one faced in life's journey. Reflect for a moment. What lessons might you draw from these whispers of the past, as if hearing the soft turning of a page in a well-loved book?
The Greeks treasured balance, not just between work and rest, but in their pursuits of the mind and body. Athletic events, like training for the Olympic Games, would take place in gymnasiums, where the focus was equally on strength and contemplation. Imagine the rhythmic sounds of footsteps as athletes practiced, dust mingling with the sweet scent of sweat, sun, and earth. The mind was nurtured as much as the body. In quiet moments between exertions, athletes might ponder great philosophical questions or delve into discussions about the nature of virtue and existence. Their thoughts, like the graceful art of an Olympic athlete, reached for the peaks of understanding, while their bodies remained firmly grounded, feet pressing into the soil. Consider the ancient philosophers, strolling along shaded paths, deep in thought. Their musings reflected on everything from the stars in the heavens to the stones beneath their sandals. As they walked through stately columns, casting elongated shadows under a gentle sun, they dreamed of worlds both tangible and abstract, places where reason and wonder intertwined in a delicate dance. Life in ancient Greece was as much about understanding one's place in the cosmos as it was about following a daily routine. Ancient people tended their gardens and flocks while contemplating the stars. They wondered whether a swan might not just be a swan, but perhaps Zeus in disguise. There was magic in the mundane, a gentle reminder that the extraordinary often hides within the ordinary. So, as you wander these ancient paths in your mind's eye, imagine the smallest details, the texture of weather-worn stone beneath your fingers, the cool whisper of an evening breeze, or the amber glow of a distant sunset reflected on the sea. Let each sensation anchor you to a simpler time,
when life moved with a graceful, steady rhythm, like the gentle ebb and flow of a timeless tide. In these calm reflections, let's hold on to a piece of that past. Through the echoes of ancient Greece, we find reminders of balance and simplicity. And with this tranquil journey, we gently weave these timeless threads of history into the fabric of our present, inviting a touch of ancient calm into our modern lives.
The whispering waters of the Aegean Sea cradled the coastline, their rhythmic touch against the ancient rocks telling stories older than memory. As dawn softly embraced the world, a gentle symphony of nature unfolded. You could almost imagine yourself standing there, breathing in the briny air, feeling the coolness of the stones underfoot, each one smoothed by time itself. Here, on this quiet morning, the landscape unfolded like a legendary tapestry, woven with shadows and soft light, hints of past lives echoing softly in the gentle lapping of the waves. As your mind strolls along this idyllic scene, let us wander together back to when these shores were bustling with legends of their own. There was a time when these waters were not just boundaries of land, but bridges to myth and meaning. The very air carried whispers of gods and heroes, tales born from the fertile imagination of a civilization that danced between reality and the divine. Imagine, if you will, the daily dance of light across the rippling waters as the fishing boats set out to sea. Their simple, sturdy forms cut through the shimmering surface, guided by the call of necessity and tradition. In the sleepy little harbor towns that dotted the coast, life was both simple and steeped in the richness of cultural lore. The aroma of freshly baked bread mingled with the salty sea air, while children's laughter intermingled with the softer sounds of daily chores. The Greeks, as we reflect, had a unique way of immersing themselves in the vibrant tapestry of life. Their world was one where stories breathed alongside them, fables and reality intertwined like the warp and weft of a grand ancient rug. Everyday tasks like the weaving of wool or the honing of tools were often accompanied by storytelling, tales of Herculean feats or cunning Odyssean exploits, grounding their mythic characters in the ordinary rhythm of day-to-day existence. In the humble homes of ancient Greece, life was intimately connected with the elements of earth and craft. Consider a modest room where the sun filters through a window, casting golden patterns on the floor. The soft clatter of pottery and the distant murmur of a household busy in its own rhythm complements the warmth that fills the space, not just from the hearth, but from the sense of shared stories and traditions. The Greeks practiced a form of mindfulness well before its modern rediscovery. Their respect for balance and harmony extended into daily practices, where even the simplest of tasks became an extension of larger philosophical wonders. When they prepared a meal, it was an act not just of sustenance, but of ritual, an opportunity to express gratitude to the gods, or to reflect upon their place in the great narrative of existence. The aroma of herbs and spices lingered in the air as they shared both sustenance and stories, binding their communities together with the simple, profound act of shared meals. Daily stressors, so familiar to us today, found their own unique resolutions amidst these ancient routines. Leisure, too, was deeply ingrained in their way of life, not as an escape, but as an essential reflection of their values. Consider how they gathered in gymnasia, not only to foster the body's strength, but to engage in dialogues that nourished the spirit. It was here that debates mirrored the playful interplay of thoughts, invigorating their minds as the warm Mediterranean sun enlivened their bodies.
Their belief in achieving harmony through physical and mental exercise offers us a timeless reminder that perhaps our own balancing act between work and rest can find solace in the wisdom of ancient practices. And as you listen now, let the peaceful rhythm of their world wash over you, inviting you to imagine how such promenades through thought and deed provided comfort and perspective to those long ago dwellers of shores and stoic stone cities.
Weaving through this meditative journey, we find ourselves embracing threads of their ancient narrative, like strands of wool spun by deft fingers into tales as eternal as the stones. Let us take from this reflection upon the tranquil lives of these storied ancients a gentle reminder to craft our own myths, to perceive the world not just in the clearest of daylight, but also in the softer hues of imagination and repose. As day yields to the hushed embrace of evening, picture an olive grove at the day's quiet end, its silvery leaves listening as if to the secrets the breeze might carry to them. It's a gentle scene, where the dusk settles in layers of soft shadow, and fireflies emerge as flickering custodians of the night. In these groves, wisdom was harvested alongside olives, each holding the stories of time, shared from one generation to the next. And thus our journey through ancient Greece continues, gently guided by the touchstone of its serene landscapes and enduring tales. Allow this calm immersion to invite a sense of peace, as if each mindful note of whispered history offers a lullaby crafted just for the restful moments that cradle you now. As stars slowly unfurl above, may you find a tranquil camaraderie with those ancient dreamers and their mythic pursuits, drawing from them a serene respite, one that offers not just sleep, but a deep-seated calm that roots itself in stories and the gentle cadence of history.
And as you drift, may the embrace of these ancient echoes envelop you, soothingly anchoring each breath like a whispered wish carried by the soft winds of time itself. As the gentle hum of cicadas whispers through the olive groves, you find yourself on a narrow cobblestone street in a quaint village nestled amidst rolling hills. Homes with terracotta tiles form a patchwork of warm hues across the landscape, each dwelling like a small earthy cocoon. Soft lanterns light the wooden porches, where gentle conversations drift into the cooling evening breeze, as women spin delicate tales and yarns in equal measure, fingers deftly moving in rhythmic harmony. The air is rich with the mingling scents of fresh herbs hanging to dry on doorways, their fragrant promise of future feasts woven into every gentle gust. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let the scents and sounds of this time long past wash over you, filling your mind with images of daily life far removed from the constant hum of technology and modern haste. Imagine the feel of worn, sun-kissed stone beneath your feet and the light rustle of olive branches swaying gently above. There is an unhurried nature to everything here, a steady continuity that breathes a sense of calm into even the busiest days. The villagers, wrapped in simple garments dyed with the soft hues of natural pigments, carry out their chores with a tranquil familiarity. The rhythmic thudding of the loom echoes faintly through the village, mingling with the soft clucking of hens and the lazy lowing of cattle as they meander homeward. Mothers, their faces serene with the warmth of maternal contentment, tend to children with loving eyes, while elders, seated in circles, speak in slow, melodic tones of yesteryear's heroes and today's simple pleasures. It seems that stories, much like their meals, are savored slowly, piece by piece, word by word. Further along this scenic path,
Small open-air markets display the bounties of the season: plump olives, golden strands of wheat, figs that glisten with dew, and earthen jars of honey capturing the sun's sweetness. Traders stand with relaxed patience as they exchange goods and pleasantries, their barter unhurried, more a gentle dance of words and nods than a transaction. The air is alive with the scent of ripe fruits and the earthy aroma of well-tended fields. One can almost see the rustic amphitheater tucked beyond the trees, where townsfolk might gather to watch plays that peel back the layers of human existence with both comedy and tragedy, bringing laughter and tears to their otherwise bucolic lives. These performances, crafted by skilled poets and orators, echo with the human condition's timeless themes. Seats shaped from warm stone hold the memories of countless emotions etched into their surfaces by an audience who, though gone, remain a part of this ongoing tapestry of life. As daylight fades slowly into night, the twilight sky envelops the village like a tender embrace, stars starting to pierce the canopy with their gentle light. There is an elegance in these ancient skies, untainted by the glaring glow of electric lights, each star a quiet dot whispering secrets of the cosmos. The villagers pause, offering their thanks to well-known gods with simple gestures and humble intentions, finding solace in rituals passed down through generations like treasured heirlooms. Wandering back towards your own place within this poetic scene, feel the cool, silken darkness seep softly around you, guiding you into a state of deeper relaxation. The sensation is not unlike sinking into a warm bath, waves of tranquility lapping softly at your senses, bringing with them a profound sense of peace. As you ponder your own connection to this ancient world, consider the parallels between then and now, the quest for comfort, the bonds of family, the stories shared under softly glowing moons. They bind us as one with those who lived so long ago. Despite the passage of millennia, the essence of humanity remains steadfast, calming as you drift further into the warmth of this reverie.
Allow these musings to guide you into a restful slumber or a meditative state of peace, letting the cares of your day slip away like the tide receding from a gently worn shore. And with one last glance at the serene tapestry woven before your mind's eye, feel a quiet assurance that these stories still whisper their ancient lullabies, ensuring your night is filled with the peaceful dreams of past and present.
As the day slowly waves goodbye, and the village finds itself wrapped in the soft, golden glow of the impending twilight, let's walk together along those narrow, winding streets. Picture each step whispered upon the earth, your feet caressing the cool, worn cobblestones beneath them. Such stones have tasted centuries of footsteps, their echoes dipping into the silence of a world now muted, calmed by the encroaching night. Look around. Imagine the modest, whitewashed homes, their simplistic beauty exuding an aura of understated elegance. Warm light spills through small windows, flickering gently, a dance of shadows on time-worn walls. You can almost see the subtle movement of a distant figure, their outline softened by the gentle embrace of the evening. Within, families gather to share stories, a tapestry of words that knit together the fabric of their ancestry. Here we pause in this tranquil setting to unravel more than just the lives of heroes and gods. Here we immerse ourselves in the very essence of ancient Greek daily existence. The texture of life, its rhythm, harmonizes effortlessly with nature, the cycle of seasons, the comforting regularity of each day. Consider the task of preparing a simple meal.
Imagine the aromatic scent of wild herbs, thyme, rosemary, and mint, gathered fresh under the morning sun, infusing the air. A humble meal, yes, perhaps just bread baked in a clay oven, cheese aged in woven baskets, and olives picked from the very trees casting slumberous shadows on these quaint homes. Yet in their simplicity lies profound satisfaction, a whisper of nourishment that echoes deeply within the soul. Let us envision them seated around a low wooden table, a small circle of life that holds a myriad of moments. There, achingly slow conversations flow, like honey sweetened with care. Gentle laughter floats upon the air, a symphony of comfort within the boundaries of that dimly lit room. Notice the tender bonds that unite them, threads woven across time, yet resolute, enduring as the stones beneath our feet. In the marketplace, the bustling tempo of earlier hours softens, the echo of busy transactions replaced by amiable exchanges. As traders fold up their colorful stalls, there's a lull that descends, a collective sigh from the heart of the village. You can almost smell the remnants of spices mingling together in a delicate bouquet that tickles the senses. Fragrant memories are shared between hands filled with tomorrow's promise, fresh produce passed quietly from hands to baskets. There is a remarkable simplicity, yet complexity in these exchanges, where human connection thrives. Each shared word, each exchanged smile, a reminder of communal resilience, a fraternity found not only in shared blood, but in shared soil. Imagine, too, the subtle nuances of ancient Greek health and hygiene. The scent of olive oil, rich and earthy, lingers, a daily companion utilized for nourishment, for light, for cleanliness. Bathing rituals unfold, simple yet indulgent, in sun-drenched courtyards. The gentle splash of water upon skin brings refreshment, renewal. This private communion with nature, amidst the whispering branches, conjures a sanctuary within solitude.
As we reflect on these traditions, their echoes still resonant, evoking calm with their ingenuity and clarity. What lessons can we draw from their serene acceptance of life's rhythm? Perhaps there is much to learn from their unhurried existence, their emphasis on balance, a whisper of philosophy rooted deep within the marrow of their daily practices. Take a deep breath and hear the world's sound as it closes the day's chapter, consonant in its chorus of creatures. The final rays of sun kiss the horizon, painting the village with soft shadows of night. Like them, let us slip quietly into the embrace of dusk, carrying with us the gentle images and sounds that transport our senses into the quiet symphony of ancient Greece. Here, histories lull you into peaceful dreams, murmuring stories of heroes and harvests, of myths interwoven with the humdrum beauty of everyday life. As these images and sounds cradle you to sleep, remember the enduring heart of human experience. Even within distant landscapes and ancient times, we find reflections of the constancies that bind us all. A yearning for peace, for connection, for a life lived in harmony with the earth and with one another. Reflect on this solace, dear listener, as you drift further into the embrace of sleep, where dreams blend with the soft murmur of ancient whispers, guiding you into a quiet, restful night. As the sun dips below the rugged mountains in the distance, the air takes on that familiar scent of salt and aged earth, carrying with it tales of times long past. You find yourself standing at the gentle threshold between land and sea, where the crisp ocean breeze brushes against your skin like a soft whisper. Here, on this ancient Greek coast, the stories of gods and heroes seem as tangible as the pebbles beneath your feet, each one a tiny vessel of history. These shores, now quiet and serene, once echoed with laughter, boasts, and perhaps even the tears of sailors setting out on adventures or returning to awaiting families. You can't help but wonder about Heracles, the laboring icon whose shadow looms as significantly as the sunset beyond the waves. To the ancient Greeks, Heracles was more than a myth. He was a reflection of human struggle and tenacity. His labors, 12 in number, were grand tales of overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. Yet each began with a simple step, a glimpse of determination that might have resembled the resolve in a modern jogger's eye before a marathon. Imagine, if you will, the quiet moments between these legendary trials. Heracles, standing alone or perhaps with a trusted companion by a campfire, the warmth contrasting with the cool night air. Flames flicker, their movements akin to a rhythmic dance, casting soft shadows on his face. The wood crackles, the sound a comforting reminder of the present, even when so much rides on the tasks of the following day. There's an irony in the simplicity of these moments, comparable perhaps to the way modern life finds solace in mundane acts of brewing morning coffee amidst a hectic schedule. The olive trees that dot the landscape are silent witnesses to such reflections. Their gnarled branches tell stories of their own resilience, weathering storms and droughts over centuries. The fruit and oil they provide have nourished countless generations, much like they surely did for Heracles as he journeyed from one trial to the next. With every olive tasted, with every sip of its oil, there's a reconnection to the land, a grounding that's both timeless and essential to daily life.
Moving from dusk to the depths of night, the heavens above open up, revealing a sparkling tapestry of stars. It's a breathtaking sight, one that ancient mariners and travelers used to navigate their way. Among these stars, the constellations take shape, timeless formations echoing tales we still retell. In these stories, the infinite seems almost reachable, as though by tracing your finger along the delicate threads of stardust, you could weave new narratives of courage and reflection. And so, beneath the same stars, Heracles must have surrendered to sleep, letting the world of dreams prepare him for the endeavors that awaited at dawn's first light. It is a gentle reminder that even the mightiest among us need the solace of rest, a comforting solution to quell the background hum of anxiety or uncertainty. You can almost feel the texture of the woolen peplos against his skin as Heracles drifts into slumber, the gentle pressure grounding him to the earth below. It's in those rare flickers of vulnerability that humanity truly shines, reinforcing that amidst the epic tales there lies a common thread of shared human experience. As your thoughts drift along with Heracles in his journey, the night air grows a touch cooler, softly, intimately, almost encouraging you to snug a little deeper into whatever comforts you tonight. Possibly, as he dreamed, Heracles might have envisioned glimpses of home, a modest dwelling where simple joys awaited him, perhaps a meadow where he exchanged laughter with friends, the golden sun warming his back. You can almost hear the jingle of metal as someone forges tools in a nearby village, or imagine the soft laughter of children playing by the olive groves, nothing but echoes in time, yet painting vibrant images in the mind's eye.
And so, inspired by this harmonious blend of history and humanity, a question arises. How did our ancient counterparts balance their arduous chores and cherished moments of ease? The answer, perhaps, as subtle as the soft rustle of leaves in the cool night breeze, lies in their simple joys and shared connections, the calming, unspoken bond between man and nature, task and rest, story and bearer. The past, then, emerges not just as a grand tapestry of heroic deeds and mystical adventures, but also as a whisper of life's persistent simplicity, a hum that transcends time, gently guiding us back to our current selves and reminding us to embrace each breath, each rest, as a vital note in our own journeys. And with that reflection, you too might find yourself unwinding. Maybe your own worries, much like Heracles' mighty labors, can seem a little lighter as they float away on the gentle breeze of history retold, the tender nuances of life illuminated by the soft glow of timeless campfires.
As the scene unfurls in your mind's eye, let the serene landscape of ancient Greece envelop you. Picture the fields stretching out under a sunset sky. Shimmering golds and deepening blues paint a picture so calm, so serene, it gently invites you to linger a while longer. The olive trees sway softly in the breeze, creating a gentle rustling melody of leaves whispering secrets of ages past. It is as if nature itself is cradling you in a gentle lullaby, inviting peace to seep into your soul. In this tranquil setting, imagine shepherds guiding their flocks along worn paths. Each step of the sheep creates a soft padding sound, almost rhythmic, washing over the fields like the gently breaking waves on a distant shore. You can almost feel the woolen texture of the sheep, warm and comforting to the touch, as the shepherds, a community of people engaged in a timeless dance with their surroundings, go about their daily chore. Their existence, marked by the sun's rhythm and the needs of their flock, offers a glimpse into a life at one with the earth, grounded in simplicity and nature's cycles. Moving from the pastoral quietude of the countryside, now imagine entering a small village, starting to wind down for the evening. The subtle glow from oil lamps begins to illuminate the stone alleys, their surfaces cool underfoot, a welcome respite from the day's heat. The lamps flickered with a warm glow, casting playful shadows that dance along walls, the shadows weaving gently with the breeze that slips silently through the village. Children laugh softly as they reluctantly return home, the day's adventures turning into treasured memories. Their laughter is a light sound, one that floats through the air like the faintly sweet fragrance of blooming jasmine clinging to the stones warmed by the sun. In such villages, every stone, every path, carries the stories of countless feet that have walked them, whispers of lives lived in a rhythm that echoes softly across time. Amidst the quiet hum of evening activities, you can imagine sitting down in a small, modest kitchen. The scent of herbs, oregano, thyme, and rosemary mingles with the rich, earthy aroma of fresh bread as it is pulled from a rustic clay oven. The simple yet hearty fare reflects a profound connection to the land and the cycles of nature. Food here is more than sustenance. It's a symbol of resilience, tradition, and community. As you imagine breaking off a piece of this crusty bread, it feels invitingly warm in your hand, the exterior crusty and comforting between your fingers, the steam carrying a rich smell that tells the tale of fire and grain made one, a daily ritual bringing comfort and life's most basic assurance. This quiet corner of the ancient world, with its daily rituals and comforting simplicity, holds within it a quiet strength, a silent testament to endurance
and the intricate, gentle beauty of a life closely entwined with nature. The small details, the scent of olive oil, the soft clatter of a wooden spoon on clay, the shared smiles over simple meals, all shape the tapestry of existence here, a testament to resilience in its purest form. The thought of ancient Greeks and their relationship with time, the seasons, and the cosmos offers another layer of meditative calm. They held deep reverence for the cosmos, believing every celestial body had its own rhythm and music. The stars were not mere points of light. They were companions on quiet nights, guides for travelers, and silent guardians watching over lives below. Imagine laying back, staring up at the same stars that inspired ancient philosophers and poets. Under this tranquil dome of wonder and mystery, feel how every breath you take becomes a gentle connection to that same vast universe, a universe endless in its possibilities, yet constant and reliable in its presence. In the ancient world, the night sky was a vast tapestry of stories of gods and heroes, myths and morality, a celestial theater casting its quiet luminescence over all beneath. As the ancients told their stories, their voices might have mingled with the soft crackle of a pebble path woven through dreamlike cities, resonating softly against the cool marble steps of temples. This sound, like the steady breathing of a resting city, accompanies the stories as they weave fables of courage, love, and transcendence, with each tale a gentle acknowledgement of humanity's place amidst the stars, sea, and stone. In these soft moments, let your thoughts drift gently, floating like a leaf on a quiet stream, exploring how these ancients found their own forms of relaxation, through tales and reflection, a reminder, perhaps, that while eons may have passed, some elements of the human spirit remain refreshingly timeless. Allow this tranquil journey into ancient Greek life to lull the tensions within, inviting the understanding that this rhythm of simplicity, of quiet, of continuity, is a balm for the modern soul. As you draw the story to a close, feel the whispers of the past beckon, a soft call for rest, for peace, and for a reawakening to the calm that has always been waiting just beneath the surface. As you continue to wander through the tapestry of ancient Greek legends, your journey takes you down stone-paved paths to a quaint village by the Aegean Sea. The air here is perfumed with the salty tang of the ocean, mingling with the earthy scent of olive trees, whispering secrets as their leaves rustle gently in the evening breeze. The sun begins to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of soft lavender and peach, casting a golden hue over the tranquil scene. In this village, life unfolds at a pace that invites reflection. You can almost hear the muted conversations of villagers, sharing stories and laughter as they go about their evening routines. These are humble folk, grounded in a world where legends are as much a part of everyday life as the simple act of breaking bread. Each home is a testament to practical architecture, with clay walls radiating warmth and wooden shutters that creak softly, protecting the interiors in a loving embrace. The village itself is a living canvas, marked by the passage of time and bathed in the memories of those who have walked its winding streets before. You pass by small market stalls, now closing for the night, where the day's catch was exchanged for amphorae of olive oil or baskets of figs still dewy with the morning mist. The lingering aroma of grilled fish and fresh baked bread tantalizes the senses, drawing you closer to the heart of this serene community. Pause for a moment on the edge of a modest gathering where villagers, young and old, have come together to share in an old tradition.
Under the soft glow of lanterns, they prepare for storytelling, each tale a pearl in the string of their cultural heritage. With voices both soft and commanding, they weave narratives that transport listeners across time and space, bringing to life gods and heroes, myths and legends with the same vibrancy as the stars overhead beginning to twinkle in the darkening skies.
You sit on a smooth stone bench, feeling the coolness beneath you despite the warmth of the day slowly dissipating. The storyteller's voice blends with the ambient sounds, a nearby owl hooting quietly, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the ever-present whisper of the sea. The melodic flow of their words echoes tales of heroes' quests, of gods' capricious favors and whims. Each story, though familiar, feels fresh, edged with the wisdom of ages, speaking not just to ears, but to the very soul. Imagine the ancient listeners of these tales, perhaps sitting in much the same way as you are now, heads tilted slightly, eyes reflecting the flickering light, minds wandering through the scenes conjured by the stories. Though their world might have been filled with uncertainties, just like ours, these shared stories offered not just entertainment, but comfort, reassuring reminders that courage and wisdom often emerged victorious over chaos and fear. The tales weave together lessons softly, like a gentle drizzle nurturing the soil. They remind us that human experience, although shaped by individual challenges and victories, is also a shared tapestry. Just as the ancient Greeks looked up to their constellations, finding stories and guidance in the stars, so too do we seek our own guiding lights, perhaps in stories, perhaps in the eyes of those we trust and love. When the storytelling winds down, there's a moment of reverent stillness, as though the gathered crowd and the village itself hold their collective breath, wanting to savor the lingering echoes of the tale. The lanterns seem to flicker in approval, painting soft amber shadows that dance on stone walls, whispers of light in the cool embrace of the night.
As you take in this serene tableau, allow the tranquility of the scene to wash over you, a calming balm that eases the creases of thought and softens the edges of the day. Here, in this quiet village, caught between the pages of history and the shores of the Aegean, you are gently reminded of the enduring nature of stories, how they connect us, provide solace, and ignite imagination. The moon rises higher, casting a silvery glow that melds seamlessly with the darkness as the villagers slowly begin to disperse, their steps light, as if guided by the tales they heard. You follow in gentle farewell, carrying the warmth of the evening under starlit skies, a partaker of legends and shared humanity. In the embrace of ancient legends and starlit nights, may you find your own solace as the pages of history turn softly and reverently, like the gentle whisper of an unfurling sail, guiding you onward through the sea of dreams.
As our quiet journey into ancient Greece continues, the scene shifts toward a tranquil embrace of an evening by the sea. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a timeless shoreline. The air is cool, as elegantly brushed as the fabric of an ancient robe. The sea hums its perpetual song with a tender touch that echoes the soothing melodies of lyres played long ago during twilight gatherings. The colors of the setting sun paint the sky in a medley of pinks and purples, gently cascading over the endless horizon. Your toes curl into the golden sands, warmed by the departed sun, grains sliding wistfully through your feet, a whisper of days gone by. It is a curious feeling, such tiny particles carrying the weight of entire epochs, each grain a silent witness to the stories of seafarers and muses, mythic and mortal.
The aroma of salt intertwines with distant floral sweetness lifted by the incoming breeze from inland meadows. You inhale deeply, the crisp yet gentle air lining your senses with the essence of tranquility. Listen closely now. The language of history flows from the waves themselves. Do you hear it? The ancient Greeks held a profound relation with this ever-moving body of water, weaving its presence into their mythos and daily lives alike. The oceans were pathways and barriers, finely interlaced with tales of gods and mortals. Sea deities like Poseidon held sway not only over myth, but also over the tangible lives of sailors whose vessels drifted by starlight and intuition. Haven't we all at times felt like wanderers upon the open sea, yearning to decipher the secrets whispered by the tides?
And in daily life, such fresh and briny air would have met you, as it did the craftspeople laboring near the ports. Imagine wooden ships being constructed, guided by the wise hands of the shipwrights, constructed with such care that some may sail for years. The smell of freshly worked timber, occasionally intermingled with the hints of sweet oils and waxes to seal the seafaring vessels, gives life to the simple artistry involved in ancient maritime endeavors. These steadfast ships would strive to conquer the embrace of the waters, carving paths between familiar lands and the unknown reaches where legend and reality often blurred. Nearby, merchants engage in gentle banter, filled with the eager lilt of anticipation as they trade and barter underneath the emerging starlit sky. Fabrics of rich dyes, amphorae filled with olive oil or wine, spices and incense, all these fineries change hands amid harmonic exchanges that shade the margins between night and day. These markets were not only for goods, but were social centers brimming with ideas, an exchange of tales and traditions as well as goods. Isn't it beautifully quaint how commerce and community intertwined, forming a tapestry of shared human experience? Our gaze drifts from the harbor's allure to the nearby rolling hills, where olive groves stretch their peaceful limbs heavenward in the deepening dusk. The trees, heavy with their gifts, their branches cast gentle silhouettes against the rich blue evening canopy. The olive, sacred to Zeus and favored by Athena, was more than mere sustenance. It was a token of peace, a symbol of prosperity. Its liquid gold filled the lamps that chased shadows from ancient homes, sustaining them through long Athenian nights, punctuated with laughter and storytelling, much how a warm cup of tea might now keep us company as evening deepens. Along these rows, families would have wandered together during the harvest season, hands brushing against the rough trunks and the leathery leaves, gathering the bountiful fruit that would grace their tables and commerce alike. Simple moments, yet deeply cherished, rooted in the rhythm of the seasons. There, under the vast awning of stars, it's easy to imagine whispered hopes and dreams tangled among shared laughter, grounded in the fertile soil where legends sprout effortlessly. All the while, the timeless stars woven across the velvety expanse above have watched these scenes play out for countless generations, unchanging observers in a constantly changing world. The constellations form a celestial map, once essential to navigation and mythology alike. Here, in this quietly eternal Greek night sky, individuals could find solace and stories written across the heavens, borrowing reassurance from the familiar dance of the stars. As our tranquil walk through ancient Greece unfurls, remember to settle into this serene canvas, paralleled perhaps only by the tranquil stories shared throughout time, ones that echo in the calm corners of our own hearts.
In this moment, let go of haste and worry, allowing the echoes of yesterday's warmth to remind you of the gentle beauty nestled in each shared story of existence. And so we pause here, amid legends and quiet dreams under the olive trees of old. As the evening descends upon the village, the warm glow of oil lamps begins to flicker softly in the now dim streets. The horizon is a painter's palette of deep blues and purples, kissed with the golden halo of the setting sun. You might imagine the soft hush that accompanies the end of the day's busyness, like the comforting blanket that covers you in the quiet twilight of your own life. The air is redolent with the scent of the sea, mingling with the earthy aroma of baked bread as the villagers prepare for their simple evening meals. Here, in the fading light, they gather around modest tables, clad in tunics that softly whisper with their movements. The evening meal, typically unfussy, reflects the simplicity and earnestness of their existence. Freshly baked bread, olives picked from groves nearby, and cheeses crafted from goat's milk form the staples of their diet. It is a table laid not with excess, but with the heart of the earth, offering sustenance in its most sincere form. You may envision the gentle hum of conversation, laid back and rhythmic like the evening tide against the shore, as families and friends come together, recounting the tales of their day. Their laughter is tinged with a gentle irony as they weave tales of minor mishaps during the day. Perhaps someone stumbled inadvertently over a goat that decided to take a spontaneous nap on the path, an occurrence as ordinary as it is amusing in their rural existence. The laughter encapsulates a warmth that you can almost feel, a reminder of the shared human experience that transcends time and geography. The transition from day to night feels like a gentle exhale, releasing the weight of sunlight and toil. As the evening deepens, an ethereal quality envelops the village, aided by the symphony of crickets that begins to serenade the moonlit sky. These little creatures, with their persistent yet soothing tune, become the silent guardians of the night, joining the villagers in their retreat from the waking world. Their chorus is a lullaby that echoes through the olive groves and the open windows, inviting a collective sigh of relief and rest. The transition from day to night feels like a gentle exhale, releasing the weight of sunlight and toil. As the evening deepens, an ethereal quality envelops the village, aided by the symphony of crickets that begins to serenade the moonlit sky. These little creatures, with their persistent yet soothing tune, become the silent guardians of the night, joining the villagers in their retreat from the waking world. Their chorus is a lullaby that echoes through the olive groves and the open windows, inviting a collective sigh of relief and rest. As the moon rises higher, the village hushes itself to sleep, wrapped in the soft embrace of the night. These hours bring a cocoon of quietude, only occasionally interrupted by a gentle sea breeze. Imagine your own evenings winding down in a similar dance of simple pleasures and familial warmth, a ritual that both anchors and liberates the soul, inviting peace with each deepening shadow. In this intersection of day and night, past and present, there's an unbroken connection, threading together lives lived in rhythms of quiet resilience. It invites you to ponder on how the simple act of coming together, of sharing life's ordinary moments, provides its own kind of magic. And as you gradually slip to the brink of slumber with that thought, breathe in the quiet harmony of this ancient village. Just like those villagers from long ago, let go of your daily cares and allow the gentle currents of this peaceful scene to carry you to a distant world where time flows with the unhurried grace of a distant sea. As we find ourselves meandering through the serene landscapes of ancient Greece, the air carries a delicate fragrance of olive groves and distant seas. Your footsteps crunch softly on the gravel paths, leading you to a hillside where the golden glow of lanterns from a nearby temple invites you closer. The temple, a marvel of weathered marble, stands with an ageless grace. Its columns are etched with stories, their surfaces worn down by centuries of sun, rain, and gentle breezes. It is a place of gathering, a space where both the whispers of the divine and the daily rhythms of human life converge. The quiet scene unfolds before you as everyday life in ancient Greece wraps around like a soft cloak. You sense the hum of conversations carried by the wind, echoing softer than the distant waves crashing ashore. Nearby, a group of women clad in chitons, simple yet elegant robes, congregate. Their laughter rings out like gentle bells, mixing with the tender rustle of leaves. They gather herbs and wildflowers, baskets in hand, perhaps preparing for a simple feast or crafting fragrant garlands to honor the gods. In the cool embrace of dusk, life slows to a comfortable rhythm. Here, past and present live in harmony. Time becomes a gentle tide. At the edge of the temple grounds, benches under the canopy of olive trees invite you to sit and reflect. As you settle, the soft textures of woven wool wraps you in warmth. Evening breezes caress your cheeks, carrying with them stories as old as the stones beneath your feet. It is easy to imagine a moment much like this one thousands of years ago. Perhaps a solitary thinker would also have found solace in these serene surroundings, allowing themselves to drift into contemplation. The simple joys of life, companionship, nature, and reflection have a universal quality that transcends time, nourishing the souls of both the ancient Greeks and those who listen to their echoes today. We drift onward, imagining what lies beyond the temple grounds. Picture a small Greek village nestled on a hillside, its rustic charm providing a beautiful contrast to the majesty of the temple. Stone houses with red-tiled roofs hug the landscape. Their walls are stories in stone, weathered and warm. Spacious courtyards brim with life, where climbing vines and pots of rosemary and thyme imbue the air with soothing scents. In one of these homes, a family gathers around a sturdy wooden table. The gentle glow of an oil lamp illuminates their faces, casting soothing shadows that dance against the walls. The table is set with simple earthenware dishes, carrying the vibrant flavors of freshly baked bread, olives, and a medley of seasonal fruits and vegetables. Laughter and gentle conversation flow, creating a melody that fills the evening air, comforting like a lullaby. Not far away, nestled among the cobblestone streets, you hear the low strumming of a lyre blending with the night sounds. It's a melody that sways like the sea. It calms the soul and stirs the imagination. These tunes create a shared moment of respite, reminding all that life, in its essence, is simple and valued through such unhurried gatherings. As you continue along the path, you feel the soothing texture of the worn stones beneath your feet. Each stone has its own story, its own history, much like the village that surrounds them. You wonder about the many others who have walked this path, those who shared in these familiar joys, eager to find comfort in gentle connections and the beauty of mindful living.
At the heart of every Greek village beats the rhythm of the marketplace. Imagine, if you will, as your journey guides you to the bustling agora, a tapestry of trade, gossip, and camaraderie. Dawn light spills over the square, bathing stalls in a warm glow. Artisans and craftsmen display their work with pride. Vibrant fabrics spill like waterfalls from wooden looms, while baskets brim with bright fruits and vegetables, promising the fragrance of all that is fresh and real. Mingle with the soft, content murmurs of shoppers and sellers alike. The marketplace hums gently and purposefully. Merchants shout bargains with a quiet gusto, while neighbors stop to exchange stories, their voices lilting with familiarity. This is a place where time seems to stretch, giving each moment room to unfold at its own pace. You find yourself drawn to the soothing rhythm of a potter at work. Their hands, firm yet gentle, shape ancient clay into vessels with a rooted grace. The slow whir of the potter's wheel sings a hymn of creation, from earth to art to everyday use. Each pot, each piece is unique and cherished, holding within it the spirit of the hands that made it. As you stroll through the market, your senses are awakened by a mosaic of experiences: the vibrant tapestry of colors, the earthy aromas, the tactile richness of woven cloth, and the welcoming presence of a community gathered in peaceful symbiosis. All these invite you to linger just a little longer, to savor each gentle breath, and to find peace in the unhurried beat of ancient life.
Gently, we will pause our journey here amidst the soft sounds and warm vistas of ancient Greece, feeling restored by these timeless melodies. Slowly but surely, the past becomes a sanctuary, an unending source of calm, like a gentle sea nurturing the shores of sleep.
As our journey into the heart of ancient Greek legends continues, imagine yourself gently cradled in the embrace of a warm, olive-scented breeze. The air is rich with the earthy aroma of crushed olives and sun-warmed soil, mingling with the subtle sweetness of distant honeysuckle. In the soft glow of the setting sun, the world feels tender and vibrant, a living tapestry woven with the threads of quiet stories and long-lost whispers. Here, in this enchanted grove where the ancient world lingers like a half-remembered dream, you can almost feel the presence of mythic figures from long ago. Each tree, with its gnarled branches and silvery leaves, seems to carry its own secret tale. The ancients believed that olive trees were gifts from Athena, the wise goddess who watched over Athens. As you walk, the leaves quiver gently, as if responding to tales unwritten and the gentle stir of history against the backdrop of time. In the midst of this serene landscape, you find yourself pondering the lives of those who once inhabited this land. Families gathered under the shade of olive trees, sharing meals and stories, their laughter mixing with the murmured songs of crickets at dusk. It was a world where the gods and mortals lived intertwined, where the divine and the mundane were but two sides of the same coin. Take a moment to visualize the ancient festivals, those joyful explosions of color and sound that rippled through the ordinary rhythm of life. Festivals were vibrant occasions full of music and dancing, where the community came together in celebration, honoring the gods with offerings of food, wine, and song. Imagine the sight of lanterns flickering softly as night fell, and the gentle clink of pottery cups raised in toasts beneath a canopy of stars. Pause here to inhale deeply, feeling the timelessness of this moment stretch across the centuries. The festivals were not merely a diversion, they were a sacred duty woven into the fabric of life. They bound the people together,
bridging the gap between the world of men and the realm of gods, echoing with the same reverence we might find in a contemplative walk beneath the stars today. Yet, amidst the distractions of festivals and the demands of agricultural labor, the Greeks found moments to reflect on the deeper mysteries of existence. Philosophy was the gentle stream that meandered through their society. The agora, or marketplace, was not simply a place of commerce, but a vibrant center of ideas where philosophers debated the nature of truth, justice, and virtue. Close your eyes and imagine standing on the cool stone of an ancient city street, listening to echoes of scholarly discussions that once filled the air. In leisurely clusters, people gathered, drawn to the wisdom of thinkers like Socrates and Plato, whose teachings fed their contemplative appetites. The agora was alive with queries and theories, where a simple question could unfold into a richly woven tapestry of thought, much like today's quiet moments of introspection as we sip tea, gazing out a window at the falling twilight. The quest for knowledge was not confined to the grand public spaces. Each home, from the humble abodes to the grand houses, was a microcosm of curiosity and learning. Families and friends engaged in philosophical musings over dinners lit by the warm glow of oil lamps in the corner. It was here, in these quieter moments, that the complexities of life were pondered alongside the simplest of pleasures, like the comforting aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from a small oven in the corner.
This journey through Greek legends and daily life invites us to explore the universal human experience, where celebrations, curiosity, and community come together to shape our days, bridging the worlds of then and now. Take a gentle breath and allow the tranquility of this moment in the olive grove to accompany you, whispering the timeless stories of those who walked this land before us under the same endless sky. As you walk through the olive grove, let your thoughts drift off, knowing that these stories and legends, much like the soothing sounds of nature, are always here to offer a gentle haven in times of contemplation. And thus, with a tranquil heart, we leave the olive grove, cradling the timeless whispers of ancient legends, as we continue our journey to discover the stories where the hearts of gods and mortals converge. After all, isn't it in these moments of gentle reflection, tucked into the soft folds of history, where we find our own paths, quietly illuminated by the wisdom and wonder of those who came before?
In the gentle embrace of the evening, the sun dips below the horizon, leaving behind a canvas painted in shades of amber and plum. As the villagers of this quaint Greek settlement begin to unwind, you find yourself wandering through its narrow paths, lined with modest stone houses. Each step echoes softly, the ground beneath your feet strewn with warm, sun-drenched stones that have cooled with the descent of night. The air is scented with the fresh aroma of olive trees, their gnarled branches whispering secrets to the wind. The village bathes in the glow of oil lamps that cast a golden hue across cobblestones, transforming them into a patchwork of light and shadow. Windows flicker with the gentle flames of hearth fires, and if you close your eyes, you might imagine the soft crackling, the smell of pine wood burning, and the muted hum of evening conversations as families settle in for the night. As you walk, imagine a time when these paths would have been alive with more than just the intimate chatter of the evening. These streets, now so silent, once echoed the steps of philosophers and tradesmen, craftsmen and children, an eclectic mix of lives winding through history like threads of a tapestry. Here in the quiet,
you sense the presence of an ancient rhythm that guided daily life, grounding the people to their land and to each other. The simple act of preparing meals, for instance, would have been a communal affair. The women, skilled and steady-handed, gather near the hearth, mixing flour and water to form dough for their bread. The smell of freshly baked loaves fills the air, carrying a comforting warmth that permeates the soul, like a grandmother's embrace. This bread, hearty and nourishing, is a staple that fosters connection, shared between families and friends as a gesture of goodwill and kinship.
Meals are shared slowly, beginning with a toast, glasses raised with diluted wine, a beverage that balances pleasure with practicality. They speak of the day's labor, the growth of their crops, the health of their livestock, mundane topics perhaps, yet vital in shaping a community's spirit. The aroma of herbs, rosemary, and thyme waft through the air, seasoning their discussions with a hint of nature's own wisdom. It is in these routine gatherings that one truly sees the heart of ancient Greek life. The roles within the household are not merely obligations, but rituals of care and respect. Each task, from tending the garden to weaving cloth, is an offering to the collective well-being, a contribution that binds them to their ancestors and to the legacy they wish to leave behind. In the silence between stories, notice the fluttering of moths drawn to the lamp's soft light, their quiet dance a reminder of the delicate balance of life, beauty and fragility intertwined. Each member of the family has their part, the position of the head of the table, the order in which they speak. These silent agreements, these unspoken traditions, are the threads that weave the fabric of their society, as essential as the air they breathe or the earth underfoot. Evenings often conclude with tales of adventure or wisdom, mythological and moral, designed to inspire or instruct. Stories of heroes and deities prepare young ears for the challenges and triumphs awaiting them in the world beyond their doorstep. The young ones, with wide, curious eyes, absorb these lessons, not just with their minds, but with their hearts. As you step away from the window into the quiet night, let the peacefulness of this scene accompany you. Picture the vast starry sky stretching out overhead, each constellation a storyteller, with tales of gods and heroes woven into the fabric of the universe. The Milky Way, a river of light, flows across this heavenly canvas, just as it did for the ancients, reminding them of eternity's gentle rhythm. Even the night holds its own suite of sounds, the distant call of an owl, the gentle rustle of nocturnal creatures stirring in the grass. These are the sounds that allow the mind to drift and the body to release the day's accumulated tensions. It's time to remember that, like the ancient Greeks, you're part of a timeless tapestry where every moment is sacred. As this quiet evening in ancient Greece breathes its last breath, consider these comforting rituals, this embrace of community and tradition becoming a part of your own nightly retreat. With each breath, let go of the day's worries and welcome the gentle embrace of sleep. And so, let this calming journey into the past be a soothing balm for your soul, where history and dreams intertwine, offering you a space for rest and reflection. Here, in the quiet folds of time, as sleep cradles you in its gentle embrace, find peace and solace, knowing that you are part of this endless continuum of life.
In the heart of ancient Athens, as the sun begins its gentle descent, the agora comes alive with a hum that feels almost like the heartbeat of the city itself. The air is infused with the earthy aroma of fresh produce, mingling with the faint, sweet perfume of olives. You find yourself strolling along stone paths worn smooth by centuries of footfall. It's a place where the past isn't just a distant echo, but a comforting presence, as if each stone you tread is whispering stories of yesteryears. Here, merchants call out to passers-by in melodic tones, offering wares that range from vibrant pomegranates to woven fabrics that feel soft and silky against the skin. The colors are gentle yet vivid, with deep greens and rich reds creating an ocular feast that delights the eyes without overwhelming them. As you wander from stall to stall, the cool breeze that weaves its way through the market carries a sense of peace, whispering secrets of the ancient world. Beyond the marketplace's bustling calm, there's a gentle harmony in the rhythm of daily life. Shoppers barter for their daily needs, their voices rising and falling like a soothing lullaby. It's a dance as timeless as the sea's gentle waves, each agreement a small miracle of human connection. Among these exchanges, laughter and easy conversation thread through the air, an auditory tapestry that could lull a restless mind to repose. Off to one side, a young woman kneels beside a vendor, engrossed in choosing the ripest grapes, their skins glistening under the fading light. Her fingers brush softly over each cluster, an intimate dance of selection that speaks of care and mindfulness, a moment as meditative as it is ordinary. Not far away, an older man watches with a soft smile, perhaps remembering when he too would accompany his family on similar trips many seasons ago, a continuity that feels reassuring in its endless cycle.
As the evening descends like a velvety curtain, you retreat from the marketplace's gentle hum to seek sanctuary in one of the many small gardens scattered throughout the city. Here, the air is cooler and carries the scent of blooming jasmine, mingling gently with the earthy aroma of olive trees. The leaves whisper quietly in the breeze, and birds from afar lend their gentle calls to the evening's serenade. This corner of Athens feels like the city's heart, beating gently in a rhythm designed to soothe. You find a stone bench, its surface cool yet inviting, and settle in to watch the world transform around you. The light through the leaves dapples the ground with artistic intricacy, creating patterns that mimic the complexity yet simplicity of existence itself. This natural artwork invites your thoughts to wander, free from the shackles of the day's demands. In this garden, time stretches pleasantly, each moment drawn out to savor fully. You can almost feel the gentle pulse of life as it flows around you, an ancient tempo of existence marked by the quiet rustle of the city's breath. In this sacred pause, reflections come easily, allowing you to ponder the world of the ancients and the quiet truths they understood, truths hidden in the symphony of simplicity and wonder of daily life. The old sun, now set and hidden, leaves behind a soft twilight glow, embracing the city stone and those who dwell within. Its warmth lingers like a gentle promise, a reminder of the constancy of the cycle of life and rest. Under this eternal sky, the worries of the modern world seem to dissipate, leaving only a profound sense of connection with time itself, a connection that binds the past, present, and future in a whisper of eternity. In this tranquil end to the day, the city of Athens offers its quiet farewell, a gentle invitation to hold these images and sensations close and carry them into the night. This is not just a journey through history, but an embrace of the timeless calm and connection that remains at the heart of human existence throughout the centuries and across the ages.
As the gentle waves of the Aegean Sea lap at the shore, a tender morning unfurls with promises of serenity and simple joys. The village, like an age-old storyteller, carries whispers of legends in its every nook. You find yourself meandering through the cobbled paths, where each step upon the stones whispers stories of those who tread this way long ago. The stones feel cool underfoot, a tactile reminder of the earth's constant embrace. The air is fresh and salted, imbued with the scent of the sea, and it mingles with the rustic aroma of olive groves that encircle the village like a gentle embrace. Olive oil holds an esteemed place in this world, not only for cooking, but also as a healing balm and a lamp fuel that stretches the fragile hours of daylight into welcoming evenings. You pause to watch a group of women, garbed in simple, flowing tunics, gathering around a large stone basin. They chat softly, their voices as calming as a lullaby, as they dip their hands into the cool water, washing clothes. The rhythmic motion and the sound of water meeting stone is almost hypnotic, a dance performed by generations untold. Their laughter, a melody that drifts with the wind, speaks of shared stories and everyday camaraderie, of burdens lightened through togetherness. Continuing onward, you step into a sun-dappled courtyard where the interplay of light and shadows crafts an almost magical ambiance. The pergola overhead is thick with grapevines, their leaves a vibrant tapestry of green through which sunlight filters gently, creating patterns that play upon the worn stone pathway.
Here, an elderly woman tends to her herb garden. The scent of oregano, thyme, and rosemary mingle in the warm air. She wears a warm smile, the kind that speaks of wisdom gathered over time, and she nods in greeting with a knowing gleam in her eye. Beside her table, filled with rustic pottery and woven baskets, she arranges her morning harvest. Her movements are deliberate and calming, each task performed with care and grace. Herbs, she explains, in a voice as soothing as the breeze, hold remedies for the ailments of the body and spirit. They are reminders of the earth's generosity and the ancient knowledge passed down like treasured heirlooms. It's a gentle insight into a world where medicine is intertwined with the very soil, and wellness is a daily ritual intimately connected to the rhythms of nature. Nestled among the herbs, a few bees hover, their hum a soft, industrious song echoing through the garden. They too are gatherers of life's essence, aiding the cycle of growth with their understated diligence. Their presence feels like a small meditation on nature's ceaseless rhythms and the harmonious balance of life. As you take leave of the courtyard, you find the path that curves gently uphill through a field alive with wildflowers. Their vibrant colors, a multitude of purples, yellows, reds, and whites, sway like a sea painting the landscape in vivid hues. The path is a soft earth underfoot, warm from the sun, and dotted with the fallen petals of the blooms. The hillside leads to an ancient site where the remnants of stone columns rise majestically into the sky. These stones stand as silent witnesses to the tales of old gods and mortals, a physical memory etched into the land. Here the air is filled with the whisper of history, and a soft breeze stirs, ruffling through the ruins with a gentle touch. The quietude envelops you, a comforting presence that wraps around you like a soft, warm cloak. It's a place where time seems to lose its grip, and you are free to wander through its echoes at leisure. Each step feels deliberate,
a connection to the countless footsteps that have graced this path before. You take a moment to sit upon a sun-warmed stone, closing your eyes to let the soft wind caress your face, carrying with it fragments of the past. As you immerse yourself in this tranquil moment, the understanding blossoms that life in its simplicity holds profound beauty. Through the harmonies of nature and community, through ritual and daily rhythm, the ancients found their answers to the eternal questions of existence. And perhaps by listening to their quiet wisdom, so might you. The story returns to its natural flow, the soul attuned to the whispering essence of a world where legends and daily life effortlessly wove into one. This quiet sojourn into history invites you to embrace these subtle wonders, to breathe deeply of the past, and to carry its calm into the fabric of your everyday life. Let the journey continue, one gentle footstep at a time.
In the gentle quietude of an ancient Greek harbor, where the softly rolling waves lap against the ships moored alongside the weathered docks, you find yourself immersed in the harmonious hum of daily life. The sights and sounds form a soothing lullaby, an understated dance of routine that has existed for centuries. The scene is alive with a gentle vibrancy. Fishermen are quietly repairing their nets, their deft fingers weaving with practiced ease, each movement deliberate as if in meditative rhythm. The nets, frayed from endless nights at sea, whisper tales of their underwater adventures when the waters turn darkest blue. Among the scents, there's a salty tang of the ocean, mingled with the earthy aroma of sun-dried wood. The quiet shuffling of sandals on stone lulls you deeper into this ancient world where life ebbs and flows like the whispering sea. Vendors with bronze amphorae of oil and baskets of fresh olives make their way through the docks, their rhythmic footfalls echoing lightly against the cobbled stones. Every now and then a breeze dances through, carrying the faint melodies of a lyre from somewhere unseen, strumming a tune as timeless as the stars themselves. There is an overwhelming sense of harmony here, a connectedness that binds the people to the land, the sea, and the sky. As you walk further, the dim glow of oil lamps begins to flicker to life, casting soft shadows that elongate on the dusty ground. These lamps, with their warm luminescence, transform the mundane into a scene painted with nostalgia, reminiscent of a sepia photograph capturing moments tender and fleeting. You notice a group of children playing by the shore. They chase each other with glee, their laughter rippling through the air like the musical notes of an unseen orchestra. Their joy is pure, untouched by the burdens of time, a symphony of innocence that softly tugs at the heartstrings. In these unfettered moments, history feels not so distant. One can almost touch the simplicity, the profound beauty of a day lived in uncomplicated joy. As evening descends, wrapping the earth in its gentle embrace, a group forms by the fireside. Elders with wisdom etched into their weathered features share stories of gods and heroes, of joys and sorrows passed down through generations. Their voices rise and fall like the tide, each word a note in a rich tapestry woven anew each night. Within the glow of the fire, you can see their expressions, soft and tender, touched by flickers of nostalgia and yearning. There's a quiet reverence in this exchange, an unspoken acknowledgement of the ties that bind the past to the present. It's said that their tales weave magic. Each story is a thread, delicate yet strong, illuminating the night with the echoes of ancestral voices. With time, the voices grow softer,
echoing gently as the sea begins to reclaim its calming dominance, waves softly kissing the shore. In these moments, you can't help but feel a tender connection, an ethereal thread that binds time and space, drawing shadows closer, softening their edges. And so, as the night deepens, this tranquil gathering by the sea becomes a sanctuary, a moment suspended in time. Each breath you take is filled with the scent of the sea, each sound as soothing as a lullaby, and it invites a quiet contemplation. The stars blanket the sky, twinkling with a persistent quietude, reminiscent of countless nights that have preceded this, yet unique in its beautiful transience. You find yourself reflecting on the gentle rhythms of life that have always flowed under these stars. The simple, enduring connections between the people, their land, and the tales they birthed are the echoes of lives lived with an awareness rooted in the present moment. In the tranquility of the nighttime harbor, the universe feels tender and vast, yet intimately close. Time moves differently here, with the steady patience of stories waiting to unfold. It is a place where worries are softly dissolved by the balm of ancient whispers carried upon the night breeze. Such is the power of this place that even in silence the night reveals a symphony of life nurtured by the intertwining threads of history, gentle and warm, a melody of all that has been and all that may yet come to pass. As the evening deepens and the sky softens to a purple curtain, you find yourself meandering along the quiet pathways of an ancient Greek village. The cool breeze carries with it the faint, sweet scent of blooming wildflowers and the earthy aroma of freshly tilled soil. Listen carefully, and you might catch the distant musical calls of herders rounding up their flocks for the night, a gentle lullaby for the village tucked amid the rolling hills. Stone houses nestle beneath the vast, star-speckled sky, their silhouettes layered in warm golden light flickering from within dimly lit interiors. Through open windows and doorways, sights and sounds of evening routines animate the stillness. Families gather around low wooden tables, sharing their simple meals of bread, cheese, and fresh vegetables, accompanied by stories of the day recounted in soft, melodic voices. The cadence of their conversations is rhythmic and reassuring, like a gentle stream weaving its way through familiar landscapes. The village's slow pace seems a balm to the incessant rush of thoughts that often capture one's mind. Here, beneath the gaze of an endless sky, life embraces a different rhythm, where priorities are tuned to the cycles of the sun and moon, rather than the relentless ticking of the clock. It makes one wonder, with a tinge of yearning, whether such peaceful moments teetered on the edge of mindfulness, a concept eked out by the subtle practices of another age. Ancient Greeks, deeply connected with the land and its steadying presence, often wove their moments with nature into their myths and collective memories. It was as though the tales whispered by streams, told through the rustling leaves, guided them through life's intricate labyrinths. Despite living in what we would perceive as simpler times, they too sought meaning amid uncertainties, sanctuary within the constancy of nature's embrace.
Look to the nearby hills, golden shafts of setting sunlight casting long, languorous shadows. These hills, perhaps, might echo with the footsteps of heroes and demigods of old, an imaginative canvas brushed with tales of bravery, woes, and tender lessons tucked into the fabric of myth. Imagine, if you will, the faint footprints of Theseus and his confrontation with the Minotaur, or consider the emotional journey of Orpheus,
wandering poignantly in search of music's solace amid unyielding loss. Each tale latches on to curiosity, stirs the air with a hint of intrigue, but soothes like a well-loved lodge that offers both nurturing warmth and refuge. In these legends, peppered throughout everyday life, the ancients found resonant themes: courage, tragedy, redemption, mirroring their own anxieties and aspirations. It was not simply about conquering foes, but revealing the nuanced texture of human resilience and vulnerability alike. Now, turn your thoughts to the amphitheater, where gatherings of old offered moments of collective insight. Picture theatergoers reclining against the smooth, sun-warmed stone seats of an amphitheater, settled under the canopy of an expansive Aegean night. Their faces often illuminated by soft torchlight, they might watch with anticipation as actors donned masks to breathe life into larger-than-life tales of gods and mortals, each story a vessel transporting them beyond their daily horizons. Lying back, cradled by the contours of stone, they found solace observing the unfolding drama, every act seamlessly bending fiction into the contours of communal reflection. In many ways, these narratives, though mythic in nature, served as gentle companions to their personal explorations, fostering an understanding of the human soul's depths and aspirations.
So here, nestled within the folds of reflection, begin to ponder the nature of ancient leisure. How did small joys like the comforting texture of woven garments or the crisp bite of fresh olives uplift their spirits? Perhaps they too anticipated the tranquil embrace of sleep, with its promise of dreams woven in celestial silk. The night their blanket, where life paused for rest, leaving behind worries for the whispers of morning light. As the stars begin to twinkle in their fullest brilliance, whispering secrets of constellations known and unknown, remember the simplicity of this ancient scene and feel its calming pulse slow your own thoughts. A moment of mediation in this harmonious space, like a finely tuned lyre singing a tender, gentle lull, cradling the very essence of timeless tranquility. In this place where time seems suspended, you may release a sigh, let your shoulders soften, your mind unfurl, and allow the gentle rhythm of the past to rock gently, softly, into the embrace of restful dreams.
As the evening unfolds over the hush of ancient Athens, you find yourself walking gently along a winding street lined with residences huddled close together, their time-worn exteriors whispering secrets of generations past. The aroma of the evening air is a gentle weave of bread baking in hearths, mingling with the earthy scent of olive trees that guard each side of your path like ancient sentries. Soft golden light spills from the narrow openings of doorways, providing enough gentle illumination to guide your steps, yet leaving room for shadows to play their quiet game across the cobblestoned ground. Through a window slightly ajar, you catch snippets of melodic voices interspersed with laughter, wrapped around notes from a lyre being played softly in the background. These sounds have a calming rhythm of their own, harmonizing with the creak of an effortless breeze that brings with it tales of the day now slowing to a peaceful conclusion. Within these old stones and mortar, the intimacy of familial routine unfurls, marking the end of a day much like those before it, a day balanced between toil and joy, work and rest. Wandering further, your gaze falls upon a small courtyard tastefully hidden behind wisteria vines that droop lazily from their trellises. Here, the gentle warmth of a cooking fire casts flickering shadows upon modest figures gathered around a low table.
A mosaic of dark, comforting leaves from surrounding shrubbery forms a snug canopy, embracing the ambient light. As you watch, an elder, perhaps the patriarch of these evening rituals, ladles a rich broth from a steaming pot into clay bowls, delicate fingers handing them around the circle with a care that is almost reverent. You pause to imagine the savory steam rising to meet the crisp night air, thick with the reassuring smell of herbs, thyme, surely, and maybe a hint of dill. The soothing repetition of these communal meals transcends time, a ritual of shared sustenance and stories, where triumphs of the day might be recounted, or perhaps embellished for eager ears, and where tomorrow's tasks are planned, underlining familial unity. As you listen to the ebb and flow of their conversation, a delicate peace settles over you, one that resonates with the age-old rhythms of life shared by those who thrive in closeness.
Continuing on, your steps are soft against the ancient stones, as if not to disturb the comforting spell of the evening. The air, cool against your skin, whispers of the oncoming night, and carries with it the scent of lavender from a nearby garden, tended perhaps by a careful hand rolling its delicate leaves between weathered fingers to release their calming fragrance into the evening air. It is in these hushed moments, while the world readies itself for the softened embrace of night, that you learn more about the subtleties of ancient Greek life. The smallest of details, a worn stool at the entrance of a home, a broom propped carefully by a garden gate, serve as gentle reminders of a life both simple and full, where beauty was found as much in the mundane as in the legends they've left behind. Reflecting now, one could muse at how they managed their health and well-being, a balance woven into the tapestry of their daily routines. It was an understanding that perhaps all the wisdom of Hippocrates, a name carried forward through the ages by the breath of history, began right here, amidst similar routine evenings, in the innate sense of harmony and balance. As you meander back toward the city's heart, the Acropolis rises above, carved out of the Athenian sky like a dedicated guardian of history itself, watching solemnly over the quiet life below. Each stone holds stories yet untold. Each shadow conceals whispers that have long since faded.
In this tranquil twilight, gently stretching between the past and present, you find comfort and curiosity intertwined as one. An invitation to explore further and rest deeper, much like those who walked this very path centuries before. You continue onward, your pace and heart in tune with the ancient echo, content with lessons taught silently under a dome of starlit sky. Returning home, like a traveler through time, to the welcoming fold of soft slumber.
In the quiet embrace of evening, as the shadows stretch long and lazily across the earth, let's wander further into the myths and daily rhythms of ancient Greece. As if stepping gently onto the soft soil of history, allow yourself to imagine the subtle rustle of leaves as a light breeze cools the heat of the fading day. This scene is not unlike a well-loved book, its pages filled with ancient stories whispered across countless generations. You see, in this ancient world, the olive tree stood as a symbol deeply revered, its branches a silent testimony to peace and victory. The aroma wafting through the air is timeless, a blend of golden sunlight and earthy olive oil. Can you sense the texture of the fruit, its smooth, waxy skin glistening with the promise of future harvests? It is said that Athena, the goddess of wisdom, gifted this tree to the city of Athens, a tale that echoes still, like the waves lapping softly against the Athenian shores. Now imagine strolling through an Athenian agora, where daily life buzzes with a soothing familiarity. The texture of well-trodden paths, worn smooth by the soles of countless sandals, underpins the gentle hum of the marketplace. Here, baskets brim with figs and grapes, their colors rich and inviting. Close your eyes and picture the vendors calling out in melodic tones, their words floating above the crowd like birds riding a warm breeze. This is a place where time often seems to pause, perhaps lingering to admire a particularly vibrant piece of dyed wool, or to savor the sweet, musty scent of fresh bread baking in nearby ovens. Among the citizens, conversations ebb and flow, touching on matters trivial and profound. You sense the stories people carry, their words weaving the fabric of community. The atmosphere here is relaxed, as if time has unfolded with deliberate grace, inviting you to observe without hurry.
Here, amidst the gentle clamor, you are reminded that leisure was sacred to the ancients, a fact woven into the rhythm of life. There is a harmony in the daily routine, a balance of work and rest that forms the pulse of society. They valued reflection and thought, knowing that the mind, too, deserves its moments of tranquility. After all, what use is a busy heart if it never pauses to appreciate the bloom of the moment? As the chatter softens, like waves receding from a shore, turn your thoughts to the extraordinary ways in which these ancient people found joy and contentment. Games echoing the laughter of young and old alike, the melodies of flutes and lyres spinning serenades into the perfect blue of Grecian skies. And in the quiet corners, the epic poems unravel their tales, each verse a thread in the tapestry of Greek heritage. We travel now into their nocturnal realm, as stars gently pierce the veil of night, casting a celestial glow over the landscape. It is a time when mysteries awaken, when the chorus of cicadas gives way to nightingales. Dreams here are sacred, thought to be messengers from the gods, each a potential prophecy wrapped delicately in the silk of slumber. The ancients held their dreams dear, much as we hold our aspirations close, finding meaning in their vivid imagery. In a time before digital screens, dreams were the cinema of the mind, a nightly retreat into worlds vast and bewilderingly rich. They fell asleep to the soft whispers of myth, perhaps wondering how the gods would weave their fates by dawn's light.
Greece, with its gentle landscapes and lingering legends, remains a sanctuary of stories and silence, a place where the everyday intertwines with the extraordinary, and where the past awaits in the wings of imagination, patiently, like a friend who always knew you'd return. In this world, the earth hums with a subtle energy, a promise of peace and perspective that seems to whisper, "Rest now, for tomorrow is a work of art still being painted." And as we draw closer to the end of another chapter in our journey, allow yourself to linger just a little while longer in this tranquil space. Exhale softly as the ancients might have done, feeling the reassuring cradle of earth beneath you, the sky above seamlessly stitched to the horizon. In this gentle cycle of tales, the ageless chorus of life sings, in a language both ancient and eternally new. As you journey deeper into ancient Greece, let your thoughts float to a small port town. Imagine stepping lightly upon its sun-kissed stones, a gentle breeze playfully tousling your hair. The harbor is stirring with the quiet bustle of dawn as fishermen prepare their boats for the day's adventure at sea. There's a rhythm here, a comforting babble, as predictable as the tides themselves. Nets are thrown across shoulders, oars creak, and the smell of salt water mingles with the fresh aroma of baked bread wafting from a nearby bakery. As the sun climbs higher,
You wander through the narrow streets lined with whitewashed houses that seem almost too crisp under the morning's golden hue. You can feel the earth's warmth seep through the soles of your sandals, grounding yet comforting. Every step you take brings you into the presence of history, not in grand monuments, but in the ebb and flow of ordinary life that cradles this timeless land. Turning a corner, the scent of olive oil and roasting meat draws you in. It's lunchtime now, and a small tavern welcomes its patrons with open arms, or perhaps it's the lively energy that beckons you inside. Imagine here, if you will, the sound of laughter as old friends recount tales of yore, and the gentle clinking of ceramic cups as wine flows generously. The food laid out is simple yet hearty. There's barley bread, dense and satisfying, with a drizzle of golden honey that catches the warm light pouring through the tavern's open windows. Plates of olives and a bowl of lamb stew, fragrant with herbs, invite you to a meal where flavors blend in a harmonious dance, honoring the fruits of this ancient earth.
With a full heart and a content spirit, you return to the outside world. There's a sense of completeness in these simple pleasures, a reminder that even the smallest moments in time can weave together to form the rich tapestry of human life. Now imagine finding yourself meandering along a path that leads toward the countryside, where olive groves stretch as far as the eye can see. The tranquility here envelops you. The olive trees stand resolute, their gnarled branches whispering secrets of ancient wisdom, their silver leaves shimmering like a million tiny mirrors reflecting the sun's farewell. As you walk, the air is punctuated by the sound of cicadas, a soothing, rhythmic chorus that lulls the mind into gentle introspection. You notice the earthy texture beneath your feet, a path worn smooth by centuries of travelers, much like yourself, seekers of peace and quiet amidst the busyness of life. The day begins to fold into itself, and the atmosphere is imbued with the rich, earthy scents of the grove. There is nothing here to clamor for your attention, only the slow, nourishing breath of the natural world calming the soul. It's the perfect place to pause and reflect, as the ancient Greeks often did, pondering profound questions amidst such serene beauty.
You can picture, perhaps, a philosopher reclined under one such tree, notes spread before them, as they deliberate upon life's great mysteries, with a quiet determination fueled by the essence of these peaceful surroundings. Their mind, much like yours might be now, gently cradled by nature's embrace. In the twilight, your journey through the past concludes for this day, leaving you with a sense of calm fulfillment. The ancient Greek world, with its everyday rhythms, its simple yet profound moments of connection with both fellow beings and nature, serves as a gentle reminder of the beauty in slowing down, in breathing deeply, and in cherishing the stories that echo through the corridors of time. As you finally gaze upon the horizon, deep oranges and purples spill across the sky, a canvas painting itself anew with every passing moment. You take a deep breath, allowing the day's conclusion to signal a return to the present, gently, softly, as if waking from a restful dream. And as you carry this calmness back with you, remember that like the seasons, like the eternal cycle of day and night, peace can return anew every time you seek it. And thus ends another chapter in the Book of Serenity, woven word by word, night by night, until quiet envelops you in a comforting embrace.
As you stroll through the quiet lanes of this ancient Greek village, imagine the peaceful harmony reigning among the aged examples of organic architecture. Each stone is placed with meticulous care, weathered by time, yet whispering stories of those who once lived here.
The rhythm of daily life unfolds softly around you. The faint aroma of olive oil wafts on the breeze, mingling with the scent of sun-warmed herbs nearby. A gentle rustling sound greets your ears as the leaves dance lightly in the breeze, stirring dreams of yesteryears. Picture a woman standing just outside her modest home, her peplos draped elegantly, its fabric flowing and shifting in the warm air. She gazes quietly at the world beyond her doorstep. Perhaps she wonders what the day might bring, or reflects upon the days gone by. Her world is one steeped in routine, but each routine is underpinned by purpose and care. The meal she prepares in her small kitchen involves ingredients typical of her time: barley for bread, freshly picked olives, and perhaps figs from a tree just within reach. The process of cooking, you see, was as much a daily ritual as eating, a ritual that connected people to the earth and to their own community. Picture her hands, skilled and steady, kneading dough that will transform into bread, a staple as essential as the air she breathes. The fire, crackling softly in the hearth, adds warmth and a hint of smoke to the air, blending comforting woodsy scents with those of the food in preparation. Consider for a moment the kitchen as the heart of her home, just as it often is today. This is her domain, a space of comfort and creativity. She takes pride in offering nourishment, a very human bond that quite remarkably stands unbroken across the ages. Imagine the simplicity yet profundity of sharing a meal, deeply rooted in both survival and companionship. Looking beyond the home's threshold, life continues with a slow, deliberate pace. Children play outside, their laughter lilting in the warm air like birdsong. No fast cars, no bustling streets. Here, the simple pleasures are found in the world right before their eyes and at their fingertips. Perhaps a game with pebbles, or imagining stories of mystical heroes told by their elders. Their education is not formalized within classrooms, but in being part of this woven tapestry of rhythm and repetition. A young boy might help his father with tending the goats, learning patience and care. A girl learns the intricate craft of weaving, her fingers moving deftly yet gently across the loom, each motion a thread in the fabric of their cultural legacy, passed from one generation to the next, quietly, effectively. As day becomes night, the community might gather at the local amphitheater, an architectural marvel carved into the landscape, its stones smoothed by centuries of spectators, much like themselves. Here, stories come alive, and the air hums with anticipation. Perhaps it's a tale of gods and their entanglements, or the journey of a brave hero. Such narratives were both entertainment and education, weaving moral codes and cultural values into the fabric of their lives. Just imagine sitting on those ancient steps, the air cooling into a gentle evening, the sky above a canvas of stars. How the quiet murmur before the performance transforms into focused stillness, all eyes drawn to the stage. The actors speak, their voices carrying with clarity, their gestures adding vivid textures to the words. Each story resonates, each character a reflection of the human journey.
Consider these moments, how they offered both escape and connectivity. In this tranquil setting, through the art of storytelling, emotions are both a bond and a release. Sharing these experiences, the villagers find a sense of unity, a shared identity fortified by the myths and morals woven into their stories. Our minds, like theirs, are drawn to stories, stories that allow us to reflect, to dream,
and to find solace beyond our own day-to-day existence. So, as the performance concludes and the night deepens, think of how this shared experience echoes across time, binding past and present in the gentle embrace of human curiosity and culture. Let us carry this peaceful vision with us as we slowly transition back into our own time, but enriched with a new calming understanding of ancient life, a glimpse into the tranquil rhythms that cradled the past, lulling us towards our own peaceful slumber. May the echoes of ancient Greek legends whisper softly in your dreams tonight, a gentle reminder of the beauty and simplicity found in human history. As we leave this quiet world behind, let us carry forth the ease of its harmonies, soothing our modern souls. Continue to journey here in your imagination, where the past remains vividly alive in soothing calm.
As the light of dawn crept slowly over the Aegean Sea, casting its warm glow upon the ruins of temples that once stood proudly in honor of the gods, the world of ancient Greece begins to stir, not with clamor or noise, but with the gentle unfolding of daily life. Imagine for a moment being there, nestled amidst those soft, worn stones, as a lone fishing boat rocks rhythmically on the water's surface, its gentle bobbing the heartbeat of this tranquil morning. In these serene moments before the hustle of day, the air is crisp and lightly salted, infused with the promise of the sea. One could imagine the faint echo of voices speaking in the familiar tones of ancient Greek, the cadence of their words like a lullaby against the backdrop of waves whispering secrets to the shore. Here, on the Greek coast, life is woven intricately with the myths and legends that form the very fabric of its culture. This intertwining of daily life and the divine provides a comforting reminder that stories, whether of gods or mortals, have always been our companions. The people of ancient Greece had their own ways of seeking comfort and calm, much like you, perhaps, at the end of a long day. In the soft, enveloping light of dusk, families gathered around simple tables set with bread, olives, and a modest mix of vegetables, their plates adorned with only the humblest fare. But amidst these humble meals, there was richness in companionship and the shared stories passed tenderly from one generation to the next. As lamplight flickers, throwing playful shadows across stonework, these gatherings offer warmth that is not merely of temperature, but of spirit. The laughter, the clink of cups, and the mellow murmur of conversation blend into an intricate melody, tempered by the comfort of close kinship. The beauty here lies not in elaborate feasts, but in the simple, everyday luxury of a harmonious meal surrounded by those you love. One could imagine the aroma of freshly baked bread, its crust still warm and tender to the touch, capturing the essence of the hearth. Families gathered around simple earthenware bowls filled with olives plucked from ancient trees, standing as sentinels over the landscape. The textures, the taste, a symphony of sensation, subtle yet profound. Beyond the confines of home, the well-worn paths of village and town lead to bustling markets where vibrant life blooms playfully with each sunrise. Traders peddle their wares, the polished fruit glowing like jewels arranged in the morning light. Flashes of color and texture greet the senses, a fragrant world where each item on display tells its own story, from farmer to hands of potter, from artisan to keeper of flocks. With each step through the market, a new tapestry unfurls, woven garlands draping from wooden stalls, the rich aroma of herbs wafting through the air, each stall keeper's call interlacing playfully with the hum of the gathering crowd.
These are the rhythms of daily life in ancient Greece, a dance choreographed by the symphony of the land and its people. For the individuals who lived in this ancient world, small details like the feel of clay beneath a potter's hands or the weight of loom thread between fingers offered repetitive, meditative acts that shaped both utility and artistry. These tasks, though simple by nature, provided moments of quiet reflection, a chance to connect internally, even amidst the bustling scope of Athenian lives.
In the later hours, as evening approached, individuals found repose beneath open skies, a luxury that invites thoughts to wander like soft summer clouds. As the stars began to reveal themselves in a celestial tapestry, there was always time for stories, tales of heroes, gods, and the whispering winds that carried legends across the land. They offer a contemplative space akin to pages of a well-loved book, the stories opening worlds both foreign and familiar. And perhaps, as you sit in your own cozy corner of the world, listening to the quiet murmur of this gentle history, you'll find a pathway to that same ancient peace, a soft landing place for the mind to roam and rest, wrapped in a quilt of myth and memory. In these narratives, whether known or emerging, there lies the gentle reassurance of continuity, a reminder that amidst the chaos of life, stories have eternally spun the thread that connects us to one another. With each retelling, we find companionship, comfort, and calm, a sanctuary within layers of time, where legends bloom like the wildflowers dotting the Greek countryside. As you continue on this relaxing journey through ancient Greece, remember that in the quiet spaces between words, there is the silken thread of connection, a calming balm that speaks gently to both past and present.